Hello, this is Mr. H. This is the review for the rational exponent expression quiz. Okay, let's get started. Which of the following expressions is not equivalent to 4? So let's solve each one and just see which one's not equal to 4. Okay, so 1/2 to the negative 2 power. So remember, negative means to flip, and the 2 will just mean to square. So really you're thinking about this in this way. We have the second power, and then we also have a negative or -1, which each do something different. So 1/2 times 1/2, right? 1/2 squared is 1/2 times 1/2, which is 1/4. Okay? And then lastly, raise that to the -1, and that means to reciprocate it, take the reciprocal. So 4/1 or just 4. That one's equal to 4. Let's do B. 8 to the 2/3 power. Again, you can break this up into several parts. Do 8 to the, let's see here, 8 to the 1/3 power, right, to the second, because 2/3, the original exponent, is equal to 1/3 times 2. So each of these have a different function. The number on the top and the number on the bottom do something different. So we'll break it up into two parts. So 8 to the 1/3, what times itself 3 times? Equals 8. Okay, that would be 2. 2 times 2 times 2. 8 to the 1/3 is 2. And we still have to the second power. And 2 to the second power equals 4. So far, both of them equal 4. Let's go down to C. We have 2, once again, there's a negative and a 2, so let's break it up into two parts. How about, parentheses, we'll leave those. How about 2 to the second, and then to the -1. So 2 to the second is 4, bring over the -1, and that means to flip it, or take the reciprocal, and that'd be 1/4. Since 4 is the same as 4/1, if you flip that, you get 1/4. So this one so far is not equivalent to 4. But it does say expressions, so don't stop here and say, well, I found the one that's not equal to 4. Maybe there's other ones that are not equal to 4 as well. So you want to check all of these. So far, just C. D, 16 to the 1/2, which is the same as the square root of 16. What times what equals 16? Same number would be 4. So yeah, A, B, and D all equal 4, and C is 1/4, so that would be the answer. Okay, let's keep going. Verify which one of these are true. So we can start on the left and make it equal to right, or start on the right and make it equal to left. Either way, it'll come out the same. So let's see here. On A, we can convert that to, let's see here, x to the 1/2 to the 3rd power. Now x to the 1/2 is the same as the square root of x, and that to the 3rd power would be here. So already we see that this one is not the same as here. And if you wanted to, you can put the 2 out here, but you don't have to. But these are going to be not true, as false. If I made this x to the 2/3, then they would be true. Let's see here. B, yeah, by definition, we can convert that, and those equal each other. 1/3 power is the same as the cube root. Okay. And 1/2 power is the same as the square root, so again, those are the same. And over here, 1/2 to the 5th power is equal to the square root of x to the 5th power. That's true as well. So it looks like A is the only one that is false. But do check all of them just in case, because it does say which statements are false. One or more could be false. Let's look at number 3. Which of the following expressions are not equivalent to 10? Let's see here. We have the square root of 25 and the cube root of 125. Okay. Square root of 25 is 5 because 5 times 5 is 25. Cube root of 125 is also 5 because 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. So 5 plus 5 equals 10, so that's equivalent to 10. Let's do b here. So we got negative and 1/2. Let's do since it's a fraction, let's do the negative first. So I'm going to do 1 over 100, right, to the negative 1, and then raise that to the 1/2. Okay, so the negative 1 power, we'll just flip this and make it 100 over 1. Okay. Raise that to the 1/2 power, or take the square root of 100. What times what? Same number, equals 100, and that would be 10 as well. Speaking of, c, square root of 100, we know that equals 10. And d, 100 to the negative 1, remember negative just makes it flip 1 either from a fraction to an integer, or from this case an integer to a fraction. So we'll have 1 over 100. So it looks like d is the one that is not equivalent to 10. All the others are equal to 10. Okay. Number 4, Riley, Brandon, Lily disagree on how to simplify this problem. So let's simplify it, see if either of them are correct, and the ones that are not correct we're going to explain. So very careful we actually do the second part, not just say, you know, so-and-so is right and then move on. It says to explain the mistakes if there are any. Okay, so we have 8x to the 1/2 times y. So a good strategy would just be to expand this out. So this would mean 8x to the 1/2 times y times 8x to the 1/2 times y. Okay, and then just let's do things one at a time. 8 times 8 is 64. 1/2 x to the 1/2 times x to the 1/2, 1/2 plus 1/2, add the exponents, and you will get 1. So we have x to the 1, or just x. And then lastly, we have y times y. These are each the first power, so 1 plus 1 would be 2. So it looks like Riley is correct. Okay. So we know Riley's correct. Write that down. Okay. Explain any mistakes. So what did Brandon and Lily do wrong? So just write that out. Brandon. He looks like, well, he wrote 8 to the second. Our answer is 64. So 8 to the second is 64. So he just didn't finish the problem. Okay. You can say he didn't, let's say, simplify. You're doing it, it's correct up to that point, he just didn't finish the problem. So he didn't simplify all the way. Okay. And now Lily, let's see, she had the variables right, but then she had 16, so Lily, she calculated wrong. Okay. She put 8 to the second power equals 16, which it doesn't, right? 8 to the second power equals 64, 8 times 8. So she did 8 times 2, and that often happens because there's an 8 and a 2 here, and exponents mean multiply, so if you're not careful, you accidentally multiply the actual two numbers. So careful. 8 to the second means whatever the base is, this many times.